Live interactive Weather Authority coverage, sponsored by Rennie's, for your next Maine adventure, will begin shortly.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage, sponsored by Rennie's, starts right now.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday to you. We're tracking some showers out there that have moved through earlier this morning. Things should start clearing out now, though. We are going to see a lot more sunshine, it looks like, as we head into this afternoon. Should be a much nicer day today than what we saw out there yesterday, and we should see a lot more sunshine by the afternoon hours. So thanks for joining, everybody. Of course, we're talking about what we're expecting for today and for the upcoming week as well. There is the risk this afternoon of some stronger storms, so definitely keep that in mind if you're going to be outside later on today. So let's jump right into our forecast here. Again, we did see some wet weather earlier this morning, even some thunderstorms, had some rumbles of thunder here in the Portland area. That was very noticeable this morning. All of that has moved on out now. It's all about the improvements that we are going to be seeing. Should start seeing some breaks in the clouds. If you're stepping outside right now, you're probably noticing in many areas, at least, that the clouds going to be starting to break up a little bit. So looking a lot better out there by the time we get into this afternoon. In fact, by midday or by lunchtime, it looks like we should see a lot more sun. Now that sun is going to warm up our temperatures. It's also going to be the fuel for some strong storm potential later on today. All of central and a good chunk of southern Maine, or all of southern Maine, I should say, and a good chunk of central Maine, do have that risk for some strong storms this afternoon. It looks like anywhere from about 2 to about 8 p.m. or so this evening is when we do have that risk. Strong winds and hail going to be possible with any storms that develop. Doesn't look like a widespread threat here, but any storm that does develop, again, could have some of those strong winds or potentially even some small hail as well. So keep that in mind, especially if you've got some outdoor plans today or heading to the lakes or the beaches. There is that risk later on today. Now, along the coastline, if you're in the Portland area or just along the coast in general, shouldn't be all that bad. I don't really expect a whole lot of storm activity outside of interior Maine for this afternoon. Most coastal areas will stay dry later on today. So again, turning partly cloudy, highs get to near 80 degrees. Some of us even in the 85-degree range, especially farther inland. And so we should see a fairly nice afternoon. Great question, Lowly. How's the smoke from California? A touch of it still in the atmosphere today. And it is going to be a factor later on this week, especially. It looks like there's some potential for some more to be moving in. It looks like maybe in the Thursday, Friday timeframe, that will be a possibility. However, all of this rain we're seeing in this area of low pressure that's brought us the rain and the storms, it's helping to keep the smoke away, at least for right now. Again, it does look like there is some potential for that to come back later into the week. Great question. Lowly about the wildfire smoke from California. Potentially, Shira, Sanford could see a storm later on today. I would not say it's a guarantee, though. I'd say if you were to flip a coin 10 times, maybe 6 out of those 10 times, you wouldn't get a storm. So more likely than not, you're not going to get a storm, but the potential is there. So just keep in mind that the chance is there, but by no means looking like a slam dunk that you'll get one later on today. And speaking of which, not only to Shira, but to everybody else, let's time out the storm potential later on today. Again, we should turn nice and sunny by the time we get into the early afternoon. I'm thinking 1, 2 o'clock or so, we really should start to see some of those improvements. Should turn pretty nice out there. Now, by the time we get later into the afternoon and evening, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, some of those storms start to develop. And the new trend has been to keep some of those storms a little closer to the coast. So Shira was asking about a storm in Sanford. This model is showing a storm in the Sanford area right around 6 or 7 p.m. this evening. So that's probably your best shot. Again, no guarantee you get a storm, but the potential is there, especially it looks like around 6 or 7 o'clock this afternoon. Any storms we do see, again, they could have some of those gusty winds or some small hail. They then wrap up as we head into tonight, and we're pretty quiet as we head into Wednesday. But not looking like all that nice of a day for tomorrow. A lot of clouds, drizzle, showers. In fact, tomorrow kind of looks very similar to what we saw yesterday. It just will likely be a little bit warmer out there on Wednesday with, again, that potential for some drizzle, scattered showers all through the day on Wednesday, especially it looks like towards the afternoon. and there may be a rumble of thunder or two as well on Wednesday. So we'll be monitoring that storm potential. As of right now, there's no severe threat expected here in New England on Wednesday, but we'll keep an eye on it just in case any of these storms may want to turn a little bit feistier on Wednesday. Either way, not the best day for being outdoors tomorrow. What is a good day to be outdoors? That's going to come on Thursday. Thursday is actually looking pretty good. We're going to see a mix of sun and clouds through the day. Finally, for the first time this week, we're going to get a nice sunrise, it looks like, on Thursday morning. It's been very gloomy this morning, yesterday morning. Tomorrow is going to continue that trend. Thursday looks a lot nicer in the morning. Look at all this sunshine, clear skies as we start the day on Thursday. By the afternoon, there could be a couple more storms, mainly in the mountains, though. I would think coastal areas stay pretty much completely dry on Thursday, and even inland areas, that chance of a shower is pretty low. So after Wednesday, rain chances do diminish quite a bit, it looks like. So then the focus is the heat and humidity. We'll be in the upper 80s in many spots on Thursday. It's going to be very, very humid as well, feeling more like the 90s, and Friday going to bring us more of the same. It also looks very hot and humid on Friday. So yeah, let's talk about humidity here. It's very noticeable out there today, but we've been helped in that it is not very hot. The cooler temperatures have sort of helped to keep the humidity not feeling too extreme out there. That's going to change later in the week as humidity levels remain very high and then temperatures climb as well. So we're going to see those dew points in the upper 60s and 70s, definitely feeling that mugginess. And Thursday and Friday, and even the weekend, but especially Thursday and Friday, are looking just very, very sultry, hot, and humid. You can see here on our temperature trend. Yeah, temperatures climb in a big way after a somewhat cooler Wednesday. We're in the upper 80s by Thursday, upper 80s and low 90s by the time we get into Friday. So yeah, looking very toasty out there to end the week, and it will be feeling closer to the 95-degree range. Well, Tammy, we are at the end of July now, so yeah, fall weather is really not too far around the corner at this point. It looks like usually at the end of August, we usually start to get that first cold front or two. That does bring some crisper air into the picture. So we'll be watching out for that. Of course, though, summer still rolls on here for at least another month with typical summer weather. So let's talk about rainfall. Not expecting any crazy flooding or anything like that. We'll keep an eye on the potential for some heavy rain, but it does not look like we're going to see widespread major flooding or anything like that. Half inch up to an inch or so, or maybe up to 2 inches of rain in spots. A good watering for the lawns and gardens, but not looking like anything too crazy. All right, Shira is asking about this Saturday. Perfect timing, Shira, because it's time for our 7-day forecast. And you can see today we are going from a lot of clouds to a lot of sunshine. By the time we get into this afternoon, there is that risk of a strong storm or two as well on our Tuesday. Tomorrow, not the nicest day, again, for outdoor activities on Wednesday, with that chance for showers and drizzle. We'll then see a mix of sun and clouds on Thursday, hot and humid in the upper 80s, feeling more like the 90s, and very similar story Friday, also in the upper 80s, feeling more like the 90s. Now, Shira was asking about Saturday, and there is the chance of some showers and storms then. As of this point, Shira, not looking like a washout. There may be a storm or two around during the afternoon, but otherwise I would expect a good amount of sun for much of the day, and then maybe a storm or two later in the day. Sunday looks like is very similar to Saturday in that we'll see a mix of sun and clouds and that potential for a shower or storm. Incredibly humid through the weekend, and while Monday is going to be bringing us potentially some drier air, it's not a slam dunk at this point. So I wouldn't get your hopes up too high that it's going to dry out next week, but the potential is there. So just throwing that out there. It doesn't look like it's going to be a soaker or extremely humid next week, but we'll keep monitoring just in case that humidity decides to stick around. If you're inland, yes, some 90s do look very likely late in the week. In fact, we will approach heat wave criteria once again. Upper 80s Thursday, near 90 on Friday, upper 80s to near 90 for both Saturday and Sunday, even with that storm threat. So again, going to be watching not only the heat and humidity, we're going to be watching the storm potential for the weekend and the potential for maybe us to see some stronger storms, which could lead, which may end up occurring here with the hot, humid conditions that can tend to, of course, promote severe weather. So overall, not terrible week. There's definitely some bright spots in our forecast. Thursday and Friday look pretty good. Definitely some not so bright spots. Wednesday definitely is that day, not looking the best on Wednesday for getting outdoors. But each day this week, really other than tomorrow, you should have a good shot at getting some outdoor time in the sunshine and in the heat and humidity. There's the chance of a severe thunderstorm warning in Lewiston, Auburn this afternoon, Brandon. I'm not expecting anything major, though. It doesn't look like it's a high-end threat, but the potential is there for some gusty winds with any storms that develop. Again, it's not a major severe weather threat by any means. So again, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Have a great week. And of course, we'll keep you posted on any severe storm chances. And of course, if we get severe weather this afternoon, Emily and Charlie are here, and they will keep you covered. So yeah, stay tuned and have a great week, everybody.
Live, interactive CBS 13 and Fox 23 Weather Authority coverage for your next main adventure has been sponsored by Rennie's.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Make sure to stay connected with CBS 13 and Fox 23.